Hello, dear second semester students. Under Boduland University, CBCS. So, I am today discussing a poem by one Indian poetess. Poetess means the female of poet. So, Kamala Das. The title is An Introduction. And this is from your paper Indian Writing in English. That is the paper, and I am discussing the poem. So Kamala Das is we can say poet as well, no problem, or you can say poetess. Kamala Das is a poet who was born in 1934 and died in 2009, and this poem has been derived from her anthology Summer in Calcutta. এই কিতাপখনৰ পৰা লোৱা হৈছে Summer in Calcutta, that was published in 1965. So 1965 the condition of the female gender, that means in a patriarchal society, as you all know, India, the feminists believe once our society was constructed for the man, so they say it patriarchal society, পুৰুষ প্ৰধান সমাজ, আৰু in the context of 1965, in that time the condition of women was not like today. So directly we go to the poem. So an introduction, the very title actually suggests one thing, an introduction. Sa sinaki, introduction, ami sinaki dim karoba, presentation of oneself, that I am, myself is, suppose a proper noun, and I belong to this place and that, and so many things. So she begins, though it is a personal presentation, the poem begins like, I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power and can repeat them like days of week or names of months, beginning with Nehru. Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. So the poem begins with history. Though it is an introduction, the poem begins with history and memory. Memory is a part of one's identity, you know. So Kamala Das asserts, self-assertion, that she doesn't know politics. That means in that time women were not completely, engaged in political affairs. So a post-independent author like Kamala Das, she is even not aware of the politics. So she actually mocks the socio-political scenario of that time, that the politicians of that time did not allow women to enter into the field of politics. So here the male allusion means reference to something, to one character in a book, to a place. Allusion, it's a rhetorical device in a poetry. So Nehru, and interestingly this poem was written in 1965. So in 1966 only a woman became Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi. So up till then, tetialoike to 1965, there was no women involved in a large scale in politics. But the male pervasive power, she says that she can repeat the name of politicians like days of week. I mean, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A nursery boy can also repeat the names of the day, just like every names of the politicians are engraved in our psychology. So next, see what the title says, an introduction. Next she begins her identity. Next she says, I am Indian. very brown, born in Malabar. I speak 3 languages, write in 2, dream in 1. So she introduces herself concerning her national identity. She is Indian. So lots of things you can assume here. You have to discover your own meaning because it is higher education. Higher education, teachers are just a guide. They show you the path. You have to discover new meaning, you know. Whenever I leave the poem, that time it is completed. That means moi jetia kobita to pohibole erim tetia he anejone pohibo aru beleg meaning ulabo, you know, new meanings will come out. So here you can think that Malabar is a place in Kerala. So she says, meaning bila keneke uliabo lage. Suppose you can write whatever you think, your innovative ideas you write, then only you get marks. But to the point, it should be related to the text. There is nothing outside the text. Derrida also said languages are inherently contradictory. Everything is inside the text. You have to conjure, like sleeping dogs. The meanings are there. They are sleeping. You have to teach them to pull the meaning, you know. So here she says born in Malabar, but she doesn't say I belong to Malabar. So she is out of regional, you know, prejudice. You can say like that. And here also she is describing that I am Indian, very brown in color. That means there is a love of whiteness so far as Indian people are concerned, that a dark color girl or a brown color girl, she is not very adequate to gain a beautiful marriage relationship. And the love of the white by the white people, that is also, you know, mocked here. So both the love of whiteness of Indian and the colonizers, you know, the British are loved here. So I speak 3 languages right into. That means she speaks most probably, you know, English, Malayalam or Kannada, or maybe English, Malayalam or Hindi as a national language. So write into, that means she wrote, in the name of Madhavi Kutty, it was her nickname. She wrote novels, you know, in Malayalam, and she wrote in English, you know, basically poetry. And so Malayalam and English she used to write, or she writes. And she and dream in 1. She says that I dream in 1. That means it is ambiguity is there. Ambiguity means the artha, you know, not limited to a single meaning. That means, you know, I dream in 1. That means it may not be that she dreams in her native or mother tongue. Dream has a separate language. Dream has a language of its own. Whenever one dreams, it is a different type of experience. So it may be that not limited to a specific regional language. She is actually speaking the humanistic aspect of language, about choice, about freedom of choice. The preceding lines will prove that. So don't write in English, they said. English is not your mother tongue. Why not leave me alone? Critics, friends, visiting cousins, every one of you. So she says, moi English ot likhisu, ki kopologia ase. Even she even tells her cousins, her near relatives, to not to, you know, bother her regarding all those things. It is a choice. Actually, she is in this poem, she is searching for identity, you know. She is, you know, searching for individual freedom as a human being. So it is the humanistic approach of language. She is saying that why not let me speak in any language I like. Whatever language I like, I may write in that language. Moi ji bhashay bhal pao tate likim. Hoine na hoy. Actually, culture is no one's father's property. Sangskriti karo bapekor সম্পত্তি নহয়. Sangskriti, what is the definition of culture? It is shared by a community, you know, and if you go to T.S. Eliot, tradition and individual talent, tradition is not handing down from one generation to other generation. It is a dynamic process, you know. So why not let me speak in any language I like? The language I speak becomes mine. Whatever, home is where your feet are, like that concept. Actually, it's a postmodern concept yate ase. So why not let me speak in any language I like? The language I speak becomes mine. So language has a humanistic approach. Whatever language I speak, it becomes mine. She is using English. That is why English is now her language. Its distortions, its queeriness, all mine, mine alone. So she is indicating that she is using English in a different way. She is using English with distortion. Distortion means features, gap. Distortion, deviation. Suppose Indian English. Actually, she is trying that while the patriarchal society abusing her that it is a language of the colonized people, British language, why are you using? Tumi kyo use korisa? কিন্তু তেওঁ কৈছে যে it is Indian English that I have been using. Indian English যেনে we pronounce raw, fire. They say fire. Like that, different type of phonetical varieties. Even in this particular poem, she uses words like sari, monsoon, and nowadays many Indian words like baranda, you know, guru, you know, and many words are included into the word in the standard English. So she says that all mine, mine alone. So it is actually a hybrid language. So just as, you know, no single human being is perfect, so not a single language is perfect, you know. It is half English, half India, funny perhaps, but it is honest. It is as human as I am human. So this English language is human as I am human. So language she compares with human. It is a metaphor because no like is there. It is honest. It is human as I am human. Metaphor. So the language has been compared to a human being here. So just as, don't you see, আপোনালোকে দেখা নাপায়নে, it is as human as I am human. It voices my joys, my longings, my hopes. So as it expresses my joys, it becomes mine. Because the medium is not important. What is important is the content. What I want to say is, that is the important thing. So, so it is half Indian, it is hybrid. As we have come to know in our literary theory, আমি হোমিকে ভাবার এটা কনসেপ্ট পাইছিলোঁ, ইন বিটুইন স্পেচ অফ মিমিক্ৰি এণ্ড মেন কিতাপখনত আছিলে। So যেতিয়া ব্ৰিটিছসকলে, suppose the British people try to make us learn English. Why? That we should be good administrators or we follow whatever they say. But Kamala Das is, ironically, she is, you know, mocking that idea. But she is not using this for being an administrator. She has learned the English language, but she is using it to assert her self identity. Actually, this poem is about the place of women. Actually, I am summing up from these lines. I will make another video. But hefor phale yate koise, then I wore a shirt and my brother's trousers. I cut my hair short and ignored my womanliness. She tried to ignore her womanliness. That means in a male dominated society she felt oppressed, you know. And she says about the stereotypes. যে আমার পুরুষ প্রধান সমাজে কি কয়, মই লাষ্টৰ ফালৰ পৰা পঢ়ি দিছো। Be a me or be Kamala or better still be Madhavi Kutti. It is time to choose a name, a role. So the patriarchy dominated society wants the woman to play the roles dictated by the patriarchal society. So here again, be wife, they said. তেওঁলোকে কৈছিল যে যেতিয়া মই ভাইটিৰ ট্ৰাউজাৰ্ছ পিন্ধিছিলোঁ, তেওঁলোকে কৈছিল যে বি ৱাইফ, দে ছেড, বি এমব্ৰইডাৰাৰ, বি কুক, বি আ কোৱাৰেলাৰ উইথ ছাৰ্ভেণ্টছ. These are set patterns, archetypes that we attribute to women in our society. and as the Simone de Beauvoir says, a woman is not born, she is created. So they say Kamala Das to be a wife, to be embroidering, to cook, to be a quarreler with servants, sakor bilakor lobot kajia kori থাকিবলৈ দিয়ে, fit in, oh belong. So তাই কয় fit in, এইবিলাকত fit হৈ যা, আৰু belong to these are your roles, so belong, to fit in your roles. Cried the categorizers means here the males, the man in a society. So this is categorizer. These words further heighten the contempt towards the patriarchal society. So this poem is about search of one's identity. In the last she says, I have no joys that are not yours. The last two lines, no eggs which are not yours. So the male figures of the society, or the counterpart of the female, whatever joy they share, so the females also share. So I too call myself I. So this I, the individual, the ego, I means ego, that I is not present in a woman in Indian context. Whatever the patriarchy demands, she has to be. So here a search for the I, identity crisis, Kamala Das. So she begins with the politics, then freedom of choice, language. So the poem is of 60 lines. It is difficult to upload. Already it is 16 minutes. So overall idea you have got, I think, and I have already sent you one critical analysis, and from this book, Indo-Anglican poetry, I have sent you one long appreciation, and from this book also, Indian English, I will send, and I have some PDFs downloaded. Some PDFs you can also read on your mobile smartphone. You download, you don't have to print it out, you can read. So I think you have come to know at least a bit about the poem. It is 17 minutes, so I am ending the video, otherwise it is very difficult to upload. So thank you. Next you have again another poem of Kamala Das. It is My Grandmother's House. Then you have poetry of H.L.V. D'Orazio, The Freedom to the Slave and the Orphan Girl. Then you have in next paper drama, see Dr. Faustus, and we have 6 teachers. So we divided the course, and I have a bit, and so I have started with this poem. So see the video and try to encapsulate a basic idea, and read. After listening to this video, read on net, wherever you can, read more about that poetry, and read all the overall philosophical perspectives and many things of Kamala Das. Thank you.